We're all brought up believing in only two genders, believing that the path we're born on is the one we must stay on, no matter what. That even a slight deviation from this is something awful, something abhorrent, that must be stamped out while we're still open-minded and impressionable. Why is it wrong for a girl to play with cars or a boy to do ballet? Why do we ingrain the stereotypes of our society into the minds of those barely even old enough to walk, forcing them to believe in gender roles that they never decided for themselves? So think about it. What comes to mind when I say tutus and football boots, princesses and action figures, pink and blue? Like it or not, I'll bet that, however unintentionally, you instantly associated these things with the genders we're told they belong to. In an ideal world, there would be no labels, but this is not an ideal world. And I found that people need to label themselves to feel comfortable with who they are. And who you are is something you decide for yourself. It's time we learned to accept this. In order to effectively tackle this part of our society, a few misconceptions must be corrected. Gender is not a two-way street. If you take nothing away from this, at least remember that one small fact. Gender is not a two-way street. It's a flourishing rainbow where all the colors are free to mix and blend and flow into one another. Gender is like a fingerprint, a mark of identity unique to that individual. It's so much more than just simple biology, a fact people seem to have serious problems getting their heads around. Biological sex corresponds to what's down there, genitalia, nothing more and nothing less. It's sorted into a strict 3 categories, male, female, and intersex. But gender, now gender is so much more diverse. Gender is a spectrum consisting of numerous parts, including transgender, bigender, agender, and gender fluid. People who stick with the gender they were assigned at birth are often referred to as cisgendered. Yet a trans man, while he may have started off life as a girl, identifies more with the male gender, and vice versa for a trans woman. Someone who is agender will identify as neither male nor female, yet someone who is bigender will identify as a combination of two. They could be male and female, they could be female and agender. It doesn't matter. The individual defines themselves. Being gender fluid is a similar, yet not identical thing. People simply float freely through the spectrum, being themselves. We label ourselves to come to terms with ourselves. And though some would love for these labels to be abolished, it's unrealistic to believe that things can change overnight. So we must overcome this, step by step, and with each step become more accepting and less judging. We can do it. If we're willing to try, then the benefits will be remarkable. Raising children in societies that adhere to rigid gender roles with fixed ideas about what should be considered masculine and feminine can actually be detrimental to their physical and mental health, states Dr. Maria do Mar Pereira, who carried out a study on the gender binary, and through this discovered that it is so deeply ingrained in the minds of adults that they believe things cannot change, yet kids' minds are so much more open. It's not a question of sticks and stones. Words kill. Over half the lives viciously taken through suicide belong to the genderqueer population, and a heart-wrenching 41% of suicides in teens are committed by transgender youth. It's impossible to deny that there is a connection between the two, and the reason behind such a high death rate is no secret either. Words hurt, and being cruelly ridiculed your whole life is no way to live. Being told you're worthless, you're a mistake, you're less than human. It's wrong. We cannot keep doing this to people. It's high time we tore down these walls before they claim another victim, a victim like Lila Alcorn. Lila Alcorn's suicide sparked a movement that revealed to the world the true consequences of transphobia, the true consequences of blind hatred. Her parents believed that there was something wrong with their daughter, although they only ever referred to her as their son. Even after Lila's death, they refused to call her by female pronouns, referring to her as him and calling their daughter their son. In the end, Lila couldn't live with this prejudice, and this drove her to take her own life. In her suicide note, Lila wrote, "The life I would have lived isn't worth living in." And the next day, she stepped out in front of a truck. We cannot keep doing this to people. No parent should make their child feel this way. No self-respecting human should make any other soul feel this way. We have lost so many to suicide. No more. Thank you.